Provinces told to account for COVID funds. Vendors disappointed at prolonged closure of market. And a review of NSL Round 15 matches.
This is National MTV News with Jeremy Mogi.
Welcome, this is Monday's news. Vendors at the Boroko market in the nation's capital have raised concerns on the prolonged closure of the market and want it to be reopened. Speaking to MTV News today, they said they rely heavily on the market and the closure has affected their only way of earning an income. The market was temporarily closed last month due to non-compliance to COVID-19 protocols.
On August 14, the market was temporarily closed by the National Capital District Commission and the Market Authority. Reason to clean up the market for vendors to conduct business in a conducive and COVID-sensitive manner.
Most of the market vendors, customers, everybody, they never follow the super rules of the COVID-19. Governor stopped down the market operation.
It's been 23 days since the closure, and the vendors want those in authority to open the market. Maria Morris, a vendor at the market, says she makes ends meet by selling, and the prolonged closure has prevented her from earning an income. Vendors are being chased away from other markets when attempting to sell their produce there. Other issues raised by the vendors is their safety. They said the market's location is not only accessible to all, but is also safe for them.
Boroko market, I'm safe. Mi plaza kam goran good, kam market good, kisimani blampla good, na karim gola place.
NCDC has been made aware of the vendors' concerns and says even though the market is ready to reopen, they will have to seek approval from the pandemic controller David Manning before the market is open. Yana Zoriri, National MTV News.
People living in Morata will soon travel on new roads thanks to the National Capital District Commission, who has made more than 10 million kina available for the upgrade and sealing of two existing roads in the settlement. Roadworks along the Talapia and Matabudi streets in Morata 1 has already begun, a sigh of relief to the residents of this settlement who have been battling dust and bad road conditions for years.
Roads into Morata 1 have deteriorated over time following years of neglect. This settlement is located in the Mosby Northwest electorate, Semekere Morata being their local member. Today, NCD Governor Powes Pakop formally launched the road maintenance and sealing project and acknowledged the contributions residents of this settlement have made to the city.
80% of the PMEs, only sleep loya, kirap loya, papa mama PME staff loya, operator, driver staff loya, lo Morata. You guys are making city and function and become alive every day. So, MD play Kamlo, rewarding you plow, acknowledging you plow the society. You deserve it.
The road along Talapia Street is 1.7 kilometers long and will be constructed at the cost of 4.3 million kina, while the section along Matabudi Street is 1.7 kilometers long and will cost 4.9 million kina.
Me hope there's a time you finish this road and by come up with as good as any part of the roads in the city. People are looking mobile works you work in the Sra, Napa company, Papua New Guinea company working road go down because now government you may give a chance to the Papua New Guinean company.
Community spokesman Charles Kama, while being grateful for this service, also highlighted the community's other needs.
Wara, and people are time living now. I've been you months of human life, and what by me needing the human boss was around. Go about talk to all something and what around there. Maga people milum community. No more than milum maga people milu proper maga time stable majority plant is still play now.
Governor Pakop told the residents this was the start of many more projects to come and gave his undertaking to convert the community hall into a proper market facility for the people of Morata. In response to the spokesman's call for water into the settlement, Pakop said water remained a challenge given the capacity of the Mount Eriama water treatment plant, but promised to work with Adaranu to bring this vital service to the settlement. However, he urged the settlements to look after these services, pay the bills and refrain from doing illegal connections in order to maintain this service. Ruth Rungula, National EMTV News.
The pandemic controller says the number of positive COVID-19 cases has increased to 497, with 9 new cases in the Western Province. The 9 cases are from the Tabubil cluster.
Papua New Guinea's total COVID-19 cases has reached 497 cases, with the confirmation of 9 additional cases in the last 24 hours. The new cases are from Tabubil in Western Province. 5 of the cases are contacts of previously reported confirmed cases. Meanwhile, in the National Capital District, the Rita Flynn Isolation Facility discharged 8 patients today, while 2 remain in isolation. The Port Moresby General Hospital, on the other hand, has 4 COVID-19 patients, 1 mild, 2 moderate and 1 severe case. Of the 497 cases detected in the country so far, 54% of them did not have any signs and symptoms, while 43% had symptoms. Theklagunga, National EMTV News.
This is EMTV National News. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Welcome back. As part of the implementation guidelines for the COVID-19 stimulus package, provinces and districts are required to make public how they use the funds. Each province has been given 1.5 million kina and districts 2 million kina respectively.
When Parliament resumed this month, Finance Minister Rainbow Paita confirmed that all districts and provinces have already received their COVID-19 funds. Districts got 2 million kina each, with financial instructions to use 500,000 kina for WASH program, 500,000 kina for MSME support program, and 1 million kina for agriculture support program. Provinces got 1.5 million kina each, with 500,000 kina for the WASH program and 1 million kina for agriculture support program. The funds have been released with strict financial instructions. While Minister Paita says there is flexibility on how the funds can be used, the purpose of the financial instruction is to give directions to all the provincial administrators, CEOs of district development authorities and provincial and district finance managers on the mechanisms for managing funds allocated for the COVID-19 stimulus package. Section 4 of the guidelines spells out the implementation control measures. Section 4.1, requiring the districts and provinces to open a BSP account, has been ticked because all have received the funding. Section 4.2 requires that funding relating to WASH, agriculture and MSME programs must be utilized on activities specific to these programs. The last 2 points is for accountability and transparency, with districts and provinces required to submit their report before the end of this financial year and to make public by way of social media the progress of their activities. With Parliament sitting currently in progress, members of Parliament are yet to meet with their respective DDAs and provincial administration on how to use the funds. Finance Minister Rainbow Paita is taking the lead with transparency, assuring us that once he meets with his DDA, he will make known how Finchafen District in Morobe Province will use the COVID funds. Shamin Poreambeb, National EMTV News.
The Supreme Court has granted an application by the Solicitor General to be an intervener in the court challenge on the National Pandemic Act. A Supreme Court reference was filed by opposition leader Belden Nama to challenge the legality of the recently passed Pandemic Act. Meanwhile, a separate application filed by the Catholic Society in Port Moresby to also be interveners in this Supreme Court reference will be heard this Friday. People in Central Province have been urged to farm the land and seek technical and financial help to promote the one district, one crop concept. Governor Robert Agarobe says 3 million kina is now available for farmers to apply and access to support the desired farming operations. Agarobe was accompanied by Agriculture Minister John Simon, who visited Mekeo farmers in the Karukuhiri district over the weekend.
The Central Provincial Government is continuing its efforts to encourage farmers cultivate the land. Agriculture Minister John Simon joined Governor Agarobe to visit farms in the Mekeo area. About 3 million kina is now available for interested farmers to access.
But in that way, we do away with all the paper farmers. There will be none of those con deals who just carry proposals and go around and get money. We will now be dealing with genuine farmers on the land. So this is how we've structured the provincial program.
With the establishment of the provincial government business arm Aniani Corporation, the provincial government is pushing its effort through the one crop, one district concept. While betel nut is the preferred money generation for most villages in Mekeo, the provincial government is encouraging other crops as an alternate to earn an income.
And there's nothing wrong with growing betel nut. You grow betel nut, but among the betel nut, you have to grow other crops as well. So you can multi-crop. You grow the crops, so when the betel nut season is not good, you can still make money from your other crops. And Aniani is your company, it's 100% owned by the people of Central Province. We have designed and built up Aniani to help you so that you can have access to funds to grow your farm.
The Agriculture Minister spoke highly of the vast land resource for Central and how people should take advantage of it. He says, unlike most places around the country, Central is blessed with soil fertility. Minister Simon declared the help the department can provide by partnering the provincial government and farmers.
Or stay closer here, extension officers so that they can visit you. We'll invite an extension officer from Cocoa Board as well to come and talk to you about cocoa, about coffee, about some of these cash crops, so that you can start going into these cash crops. We will help you to set up nursery in partnership with the governor to set these things up. We will go kina to kina. As long as the governor does something, DAL will come and support you.
Jagla Pava Jr., National EMTV News.
Still in the Central Province, it was not all talk for the agriculture sector. Governor Agarobe also encouraged communities to practice preventive measures to avoid contracting the coronavirus. Agarobe also discouraged unnecessary travel into Port Moresby. He said COVID-19 is real and different levels of government are working with authorities to avoid further community transmission. The Central Province has recorded 6 confirmed cases.
Coronavirus is here, it's among us already. So among us, always practice that, like they say, social distancing, safe distancing. Always put your bed sheets and pillows and the blankets and everything out in the sun all the time. Drink hot water. A lot of times hot water is good for you. And try not to go to Moresby. Moresby is a rubbish place. Don't go there. Stay in the village. And let's develop the villages.
Children from Gesege community will no longer have to paddle across the Lake Kutubu to attend classes with the establishment of their new school. Over the weekend, they witnessed the official opening of a double classroom under the LNG Beneficiary Trust Fund Petroleum Resources Kutubu. Thekla Gunga reports.
Located close to the famous Lake Kutubu, Gesege is a 3-hour drive from Southern Highlands provincial capital, Mendi. Though situated in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, Gesege has a tropical climate and villagers here live a different lifestyle to most people in the highlands region. Education has always been a challenge for this small community, where children walk for hours before pedaling across Lake Kutubu to attend classes every morning.
Mr. Pulim, Kenu, you come back. Now this last school comes start time. Me have mas lokam school is la. Ni lo building here.
Last Saturday, a team from MRDC and PRK traveled to Gezege to officially launch the double classroom, making it the first infrastructural development for students at Gezege. This investment included a permanent staff house for the head teacher. Joseph Furman, a local teacher, says the completion of the double classroom is expected to attract more children in Gezege to enroll for the 2021 academic year.
On behalf of the teachers and students, I would like to once again thank Mr. Johnny Yawari for his commitment for the school to this community, and also MRDC for the initiative to give us this school, founding this school as well. We appreciate and we thank the MRDC for the time and the effort that you have at least consider this community as one of the community that is not left behind.
Such development projects along the impacted villages of the PNG LNG gas pipeline are delivered through a partnership between MRDC and the landowner group. This classroom was built at a cost of over 250,000 kina through the Community Investment Trust Fund incentive. Starting today, it will be occupied by grades 3, 4, 5 and 6 students.
We basically left all the children behind. That's the most important thing. So time government appointed me long 2 months ago. I made a commitment. Whatever remaining time is start longan, I want to make sure that we have better schools.
Thaklagunga, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NASFund market report, the kina opened unchanged at $0.2870 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, EU kina is buying $0.2795 US, $0.3796 Australian dollars, $0.4130 New Zealand dollars, and 29.04 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee and copper closed higher, cocoa closed lower. Crude oil is trading lower, palm oil closed lower, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher.
Trukai Sports.
Good night and welcome to Trukai Sports. Refereeing controversy yet again reared its ugly head over the weekend as the Kumul Petroleum National Soccer League capped off its round 15 matches. A 2-0 win by Hekari United over Gulf Komara was not enough as VTS trashed Kutubu FC to stay in second spot, with Lay City on top of the NSL ladder. The Hekari United Gulf Komara match had been billed as an important clash for the Reds. Currently in third place and 3 points off from Vitias, it was important for Hekari to continue the chase. Each and every win an important step closer as they chased the crucial OFC spot. But while Hekari were expected to win this match, despite the continuous threat that Gulf posed, it was the refereeing that would cause more of a talking point. A challenge on Kolu Kepo in the first half and the ensuing melee that occurred should have resulted in a red card and a penalty for Hekari.
And Kila Numa, out of frustration, is getting a talking to. Kila Numa, he might receive a red card though. No hands on the referee.
Instead, referee David Yaraboinen letting off Kila Numa with a warning, and even worse, gifting the ball back to the fouling side. West was to follow as the match in Port Moresby was simultaneously being held alongside the Morobe United versus Star Mountains game up in Lae. That game ending in dispute as Star Mountain players ended up walking off the pitch in disgust after an equalizing penalty was disallowed.
Kamara game that's got controversy written all over it. In fact, up in Lae, we're just in Morobe United against Star Mountains. Star Mountains thought they'd equalized with a second goal for 2-2, but the ref has just called that back. It is still 2-1 at the Sir Ignatius Kilages Stadium in the match between Morobe United and Star Mountains.
And while Kilanuma was eventually sent off after a challenge on Nigel Dabinyaba, also in the first half, the indecision by the referee said a lot about the standard of competition in the league. Other matches and poor decision-making was to follow. Allegations coming from the Lae Wowens game also followed suit, with bad calls again being raised. And while refereeing was one aspect that was poor, actual gameplay another. Medang's Tusbab Stallions, another of the newer franchises in the competition, losing to FC Bougainville that were made to look good. Poor ball control, a lack of confidence in maintaining possession, and bad decisions making with little, if any, vision of play, a feature of the fixture. Until the insanely late introduction of experienced Papalau Awele for Tusbab was any real attacking intent shown.
Good ball forward by Papalau Awele.
For the round's final fixture, it was a chance for Vitias to cement their position in second place. Lacking the style that both Lae City and Hekari have, Vitias this season has been a far more pragmatic side in their approach to matches. And with the informed duo of Matthew David and Jonathan Allen, were always expected to be victorious.
He opted for that good ball forward. Jonathan Allen for Vitias!
It wasn't the easiest of wins for them, if not for two defensive errors, Kutubu at one stage almost holding their own.
Matthew David may not get there. Oh, and a mistake by Shane Wakala has gifted a goal for Matthew David.
If anything, round 15 of the NSL showed one thing. PNG football is nowhere near where it should possibly be. After the Oil Search National Football Stadium, venue trustees and venue management came to a consensus with the Port Moresby Rugby Football League. The 71st season of POMRFL was cleared to commence at the Oval 2 of the OSNFS, but with strict COVID-19 protocols under the POMRFL standard operating procedures. Temperature checks have been a part of the public sphere in Port Moresby and a new norm for Port Moresby Rugby Football League. The usual atmosphere on the grounds has been reduced with an almost empty field, with only players and officials allowed in and told to vacate after scheduled matches. The 71st season of the Port Moresby Rugby Football League had to eventuate with a legacy of consistency at stake. It was a 4-month struggle to get the competition started, with the venue management of the Oil Search National Football Stadium and the Port Moresby Rugby Football League board working towards a consensus. Finally, an indemnity letter was signed to allow for the matches to start on the last week of August. POMRFL now has to comply with its standard operating procedures and counter any threat to the competition from COVID-19.
The venue management agreed, but they wanted us to do an agreement or a document of indemnity to safeguard the interest of the venue management as well as the funder here, Oil Search and Lloyd Robson Oval Trust. This we did. Dr. James Naipau signed on behalf of the league together with the venue management, meaning to say that they are cleared that only we will comply with the protocol, the restrictions, and if anything goes wrong, if there's a surge or if there's an outbreak or if something that we have missed at the gate coming through the games, then we are on our own. We have to answer for that on our own.
The prolonged sidelining of the season and the existence of COVID-19 in Port Moresby has caused some clubs to withdraw their participation from the season.
Clubs who still have not taken the field, I can call one of them, which is the Hawks Club, because the club management made a decision and informed all the players, and what received is that the players have not been training. The players were told if they wanted to pursue Rugby League for the rest of this year, they should go and join other clubs.
But despite the setback with clubs withdrawing and forfeits in the first round of competition, Meke Minor, Poma RFL administrator, said the teams have been split into two pools with a top 8 playoff expected in November.
We'll have a bye every weekend for one pool and bye for the other pool. Meaning to say that 6 games each weekend. So because of that, it allows us time to have 2 rounds. Pool 1 will play each other 2 rounds, and likewise Pool 2 will do that.
And that story ends Trukai Sports. Jeremy will be back with the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Bye for now.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby mostly fine, then possible afternoon thundery showers. Daru mostly cloudy with likely afternoon rain and drizzle. Karama mostly fine with cloudy periods, then possible afternoon rain and drizzle. Alotau cloudy with occasional rain. Popondetta a mostly fine morning expected with cloudy periods and likely afternoon rain showers, and a high of 29 degrees. Over to the Momase region, Inlay cloudy periods with possible occasional showers. Madang mostly fine, light southeasterly winds. Wuat mostly fine, light to moderate east to southeasterly winds. Vanimo mostly fine, then a chance of afternoon showers and a high of 31 degrees. Across to the New Guinea Islands, Lorengau mostly fine, light to moderate southeast winds expected. Kokopo and Rabaul fine with light east to southeast winds. Kavieng mostly fine, light to moderate southeast winds also. Kimbe fine, then a chance of afternoon showers developing, while in Buka mostly fine weather expected with light east to southeast winds and a high of 31 degrees. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen morning fog patches clearing for a mostly fine day. Gurkha and Kundiawa morning fog patches clearing. Mendi and Wabeg morning fog clearing for a fine day, then possible afternoon showers expected. Forecast for small crafts for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait to Daru to Kerma to Yule Island to Hood Point to Summer Island. Seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands. Seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through Vitius Dampier Straits to Siase Long Island. Seas 1.5 to 2.0 meters. Waters of Long Island to Karka Island to Wuak to Aitape to the northern PNG Indonesian border. Seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of New Island and Bougainville. Seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of East and West New Britain. Seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Ocean forecast for PNG areas: coral seas, very rough with east to southeast winds at 30 to 47 knots. Solomon seas slight to moderate to rough with east to southeast winds at 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck seas slight to moderate with east to southeast winds at 10 to 20 knots. And Pacific Ocean seas slight to moderate with east to southeast winds at 10 to 20 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's the way it is. Monday, the 7th of September, beginning another working week. From all of us here at EMTV, pleasant viewing. Good night.